Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm breaking down our co-main event for One Friday Fights 137. In this matchup, we have Kulabdam taking on Pachat Pham. Now, if you read it in English, it's kind of PTT. I just say Pat to make it quite easier. Me first, but either way, this is another very, very fun matchup on the card, and another interesting clash of styles where you have Kulabdam, who brings fight-ending offense and a physical presence. I mean, his nickname is literally the left meteorite. That should kind of tell you something about this guy's power. Meanwhile, Pat operates with a measured discipline approach built on positioning and control rather than being decided by a single exchange. So this fight hinges on whether raw power can consistently breach a well-organized system, or whether structure and patience can neutralize vitality over time. So real quick, looking at Kulabdam's record, actually kind of a nice streak. So his record is 81, 27, and 2 draws, so basically 110 fights. Actually on a nice win streak. He's a four-fight win streak, being Surbek. Actually beat John Lineker this year in January. Granted, I thought that fight should have been a draw because Lineker dropped him in the fourth round, so that should have been a 10-8, and then he won the last two, so I thought it was a draw myself, but whatever. And Felipe Lubu and Ferenzi Chick, something of these names. So on a nice win streak, like I said, his nickname is the left meteorite. He's more of a Muay Mat, so another very pressure heavy style. Fighting in the lightweight division. And technically it's the one's featherweight division, but again, it's 155 pounds is basically what it is. And so, this should be honestly a very fun matchup. Now, meanwhile, you look at Pat. He's not actually been in one that long. He's only had 2 fights in the promotion. Again, he has a lot of fights too, obviously. 113, 25, and 1. 50 of those being knockouts. So he has some good knockout abilities of his own. Difference is his more is structured and very similar to a lot of Muay Thais in the sense where his knockouts come from kind of systematically breaking down his opponents over time. Excuse me. Meanwhile, look at Kulabdam. He just smashes his opponents, especially with that left hand of his. That is easily his greatest weapon. Again, left meteorite for a reason. And doesn't have that, unfortunately. But like I said, Pat's not been in one that long. He's only had 2 fights in the promotion. Now, 2 of those were split decision, win and loss, losing his debut to Elite Is Albeit, and then Alicio Maltasia. Again, I apologize for butchering these names. I try my best. I really do. So without further ado, let's break down their styles. So starting with Kulabdam. Oh my God, why am I messing up? Kulabdam is defined by explosive power, particularly in his kicking arsenal as well. His left kick is a genuine fight-changing weapon capable of damaging opponents and altering the course of a bout in a single moment. He throws with full commitment, aiming to create visible impact rather than accumulate points. Offensively, Kulabdam is most dangerous when opponents give him space to set his feet. When allowed to operate his preferred range, his kicks and power shots can overwhelm opponents very quickly. And he is willing to trade, confident that his power can tilt exchanges in his favor. I mean, you trade with John Lineker, even with John Lineker being at his age, shows how much confidence you have, not only in your chin, but your power too. Defensively, however, Kulabdam, it can be hittable. His emphasis on power often leads to kind of him squaring his stance, that's where your feet are parallel, and committing strikes, which can slow his recovery and leave opening during transitions. So his output can also become less consistent if he is forced to retreat repeatedly, or if his power shots fail to find clean targets. The classic thing about Muay Mats, pressure fighters don't like being pressured, and they fight on their back foot. They become far less effective. That's just the general rule. So Kulabdam's success is closely tied to momentum. When he is landing cleanly, his confidence and efficiency rise very sharply. Now looking at Pot, he fights with a disciplined, structured, and a strong understanding of distance. His style is built around maintaining balance and denying opponents the conditions they need to succeed. He does not rush exchanges and rarely overcommits, preferring to win positions over winning moments. I would say Pat's strength lies in his footwork and range control. He consistently angles off rather than retreating straight back, which allows him to avoid being trapped at, like, say, in the corner or the ropes while staying in range to score. And his strikes are compact and efficient, designed to intercept rhythm rather than force damage. Defensively, Pat is composed. He maintains a good high guard, checks kicks reliably, and recovers position quickly after exchanges. So when pressured, he remains patient, trusting his structure rather than attempting risky counters. So Pat's approach is particularly effective against power-focused fighters at its limit, as it limits their ability to set their feet and throw freely. So looking at looking at the kind of clash of styles, this fight revolves on whether Kulabdam can create the space and stability required to unleash his power, or meanwhile, Pat's goal is to prevent exactly that. By controlling distance and forcing frequent resets, Pat reduces the opportunities for Kulabdam to plant and throw with full commitment. Each time Kulabdam is meant to adjust his feet or reestablish range, his offensive threat diminishes slightly. Meanwhile, Pat's defensive discipline also plays a key role. By checking kicks and staying balanced through exchanges, he avoids the kind of visible damage that shifts momentum towards Kulabdam. In return, Pat scores consistently with clean, low-risk strikes that do accumulate over time. While Kulabdam may have moments where his power breaks through, sustaining that success against a structurally sound opponent is difficult. And as rounds progress, I think, again, the technical fighters' inconsistency becomes, again, increasingly valuable. You kind of notice the pattern. I usually am picking fighters who are more defensively structured, just overall better defense, and maintain a good, technically clean style. Not all the time. Sometimes I pick more pressure heavy and power focused fighters, like picking Raw Tank, for example, but not in this case. I'm going to pick Pot in this fight. I think Kulabdam's power makes him dangerous at all times, but relying on singular moments against a disciplined, well-positioned opponent is a risky proposition. So I think Pat's ability to maintain distance, disrupt rhythm, and maintain defensive integrity should allow him to control the flow of the fight. So unless Kulabdam lands a precise power strike, I think Pat's structure and consistency points towards a decision win for him. So once again, I'm going to pick Pat to win, and we're going to pick him via decision. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown in this matchup. If you like the video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think's going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. Stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see you all next time.